find a small, silver metal ring about 1.5 centimeters wide. It has two loops sticking up. When you squeeze the loops together with pliers, the ring expands. It looks like a piece of jewelry or a broken toy part, but it's made of spring steel. It was found in a bag of random hardware. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a spring hose clamp, or a constant tension clamp. They are ubiquitous in automotive and appliance manufacturing. You will find them holding fuel lines, coolant hoses, and washing machine drain pipes. Unlike screw clamps, which can loosen over time as a rubber hose shrinks, spring clamps maintain constant pressure through temperature changes. If you found one loose, check your washing machine or car engine bay. Something might be leaking soon. You find a glass object on a tripod. It is about 30 centimeters tall and has a hole in the bottom with an inner funnel going up into the main chamber. It isn't watertight, so it can't be a vase. It looks like a piece of chemistry equipment or a weird candle holder. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a classic glass wasp trap. You fill the bottom moat or the reservoir with a sweet liquid like sugar water, beer, or juice. Wasps and flies are attracted to the scent, fly up through the hole in the bottom, and enter the main glass chamber. Once inside, they instinctively fly upwards towards the light to escape, but cannot figure out how to go back down through the narrow funnel hole. They eventually get exhausted and fall into the liquid, keeping your patio pest-free. You are walking through a shopping mall or a large atrium and notice a thick glass wall hanging from the ceiling. It looks strange because it doesn't touch the floor. It just hangs there, blocking the top few feet of the hallway like a window to nowhere. It doesn't seem to offer any security or structural support. Why would they install a glass wall that you can simply walk under? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a smoke barrier, also known as a smoke curtain or draft curtain. In the event of a fire, hot smoke naturally rises and spreads along the ceiling, often moving much faster than the fire itself. This reservoir screen is designed to trap that layer of hot smoke in a specific zone, preventing it from cooling down and sinking to the floor where people are trying to evacuate. By keeping the smoke contained high up near the ceiling, it allows mechanical smoke extraction fans to work more efficiently and keeps escape routes clear of toxic fumes for longer. You are digging through a box of old tools and find a heavy brass object. It looks like a decorative finial or a fancy knob, but it has a screw thread on the bottom. It is solid and heavy. It looks too industrial to be a curtain rod end, but too decorative to be a standard bolt. It might have a small hole in the top. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a decorative gas pipe plug chutch cap. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, many homes were plumbed for gas lighting. When electricity became standard, homeowners had to cap off the gas pipes sticking out of their walls and ceilings. Instead of using an ugly industrial square-head plug, manufacturers made these decorative brass caps to make the defunct pipes look like architectural features. If it has a hole, it might have been converted into part of an electric lamp later, but originally, it was a way to safely seal off a gas line with style. You find a large plastic shot glass in an office or party supply box. The base is thick and contains two small vials of brown liquid embedded inside. The walls of the glass seem to be double-layered with clear liquid trapped between them. It looks like a science experiment gone wrong. Is it safe to drink from? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a chemiluminescent or glow-in-the-dark shot glass. It works on the same principle as a glow stick. To activate it, you slam the bottom of the glass on a table. This breaks the fragile vials in the base, releasing the activator fluid. This fluid mixes with the chemicals in the walls of the cup, causing a chemical reaction that emits a bright neon light. They were popular party favors. Once activated, they glow for a few hours and then are done forever, making them a single-use novelty item. You notice a weird little knob on the exterior wall of your house, about 8 feet off the ground. It is about 1.2 inches wide and looks like a gray plastic plug or sensor. It isn't a doorbell or a light switch. It seems to point towards the sky or the open yard. It's been there forever, but you never noticed it. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a photocell, also known as a dusk-to-dawn sensor. It contains a cadmium sulfide resistor that detects light levels. It is wired into your home's exterior lighting circuit. When the sun goes down and the sensor detects darkness, it automatically completes the circuit and turns on your porch or driveway lights. When the sun rises, it turns them off. They are often placed high up to avoid being triggered by car headlights or flashlights, ensuring your security lights work autonomously. You find a metal object that looks like a yoke or a collar. It is about 8 inches wide and has a central hole and 2 arms that extend out, ending in hooks or spirals. It sits flat but has a chain attached. It looks like some kind of torture device or a weird tool. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a wine butler or wine glass holder. It is a decorative accessory designed to be placed over the neck of a wine bottle. The central hole goes over the bottle neck, and the 2 arms stick out to the sides. You then hang a wine glass by its stem from each arm. It allows you to carry a bottle of wine and 2 glasses with one hand, or to display them nicely on a table. It's a classic hostess gift that often ends up in the back of a drawer. Walking around the streets of Kyoto, Japan, you notice small basins or pools filled with white stones placed on the corners of properties. They aren't planters, as nothing grows in them. They are always clean and seem deliberately placed. They look decorative, but their placement feels specific. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a Kimon yoke, demon gate protection. In Japanese folklore and onmyoto, traditional cosmology, the northeast direction is considered the demon gate, Kimon, through which evil spirits and bad luck enter. To protect a home or building, people place these purifying white stones, often blessed, in the northeast corner of the property. It acts as a spiritual barrier to ward off misfortune. You will often see these at temples, businesses, and private homes, maintaining a centuries-old tradition of spiritual defense. You find a small, gray plastic cylinder in your kitchen. It has a central piece that rotates 360 degrees. It looks like a tiny wheel or a caster, but it's too small for furniture. It was found on the floor, and you can't figure out which appliance shed apart. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a replacement wheel for a dishwasher rack, specifically for the lower basket of a Bosch or Siemens model. These wheels snap onto the wire frame of the rack, allowing it to roll in and out of the machine. Over time, the heat and detergent make the plastic brittle, and the clip can snap, causing the wheel to fall off. If your dishwasher rack has been feeling wobbly or getting stuck lately, check the bottom. You are likely missing one of these little rollers. You see an old brick building, like a feed mill or a factory, with strange metal cages protruding from the windows. They are round or semicircular and made of wire mesh. They look like cages for a window AC unit, but they are on very old tilting windows. They look too small to hold anything significant. Does anyone know what this could be? These are ventilation screens designed for tilting windows. In older industrial buildings, windows often pivoted horizontally to open. If you just opened the window, birds, bats, and debris could fly in. These bulbous wire cages were installed to cover the arc of the window as it tilted outward. They allowed fresh air to flow through the mill, critical for preventing dust explosions while keeping wildlife out. They are a specific architectural solution to a problem solved today by flat screens and sliding windows. You find a smooth, wooden object shaped like an egg, often with a handle attached. It looks like a maraca or a weird kitchen pestle. It was found in an antique sewing cabinet. It feels nice to hold, but its use in sewing isn't immediately obvious to a modern person. Is it for winding thread? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a darning egg, or darning mushroom. Before socks were cheap and disposable, people repaired holes in the heels and toes. You would insert the egg into the sock behind the hole. The hard, curved surface holds the fabric taut and gives your needle something to glide over, allowing you to weave new thread across the gap to create a patch. It's a tool from an era of make do and mend that has largely vanished from modern households. You are cleaning the filter of your washing machine and find a small, thin piece of metal. It is twisted, with a hole at one end and a small bend at the other. It looks like a tool, but it doesn't belong to the machine. You worry it might be a broken part of the drum or motor. Did your washer just fall apart? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a tension wrench from a lock-picking set. It is not part of your washing machine. Someone in your household likely forgot it in a pocket, and it washed out during a cycle, ending up in the drain filter. The tension wrench is the tool used to apply rotational pressure to the lock core, while the pick manipulates the pins. Its specific shape, L-shaped with a twist for better grip, is distinct. So your appliance is fine, but someone you live with might be learning a new hobby or losing their tools. You find a heavy metal rectangular object with a swiveling bar. It looks industrial, maybe like a paperweight or a clamp. It feels vintage and sturdy. It's about the size of a small brick. It has slots or compartments that look like they could hold cylinders. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a vintage coin holder specifically designed to be mounted under the dashboard of a car. Before EZ-Pass and credit card readers, drivers needed quick access to loose change for toll booths and parking meters. This heavy-duty dispenser would hold quarters, dimes, and nickels in spring-loaded tubes. The swiveling bar was likely a locking mechanism or a mounting bracket. These were common accessories in taxis and delivery vehicles in the mid-20th century, allowing the driver to grab exact change with one hand without looking. You find a small gray plastic hook inside your Bosch dishwasher. It doesn't look like a piece of a dish. It has a specific shape, like a latch. You look around the racks, but can't immediately see where it came from. Is your dishwasher breaking down? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a tine row holder or clip. Modern dishwashers often feature fold-down tines, rows of vertical prongs that can be collapsed flat to make room for large pots and pans. This plastic clip is the latch that holds those tines in the upright position. Over time, the heat and chemicals in the dishwasher can make the plastic brittle, causing the clip to snap off. Without it, that row of tines will just flop over, making it annoying to load plates. It's a cheap and easy part to replace. You find a small, smooth metal object that looks like a ball bearing with a socket or a threaded hole. It is heavy and greasy. It looks like a joint from a robot or a car part. It was found on the driveway. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the end fitting from a gas strut, the hydraulic cylinder that holds up the hatchback trunk or hood of your car. These struts snap onto a small ball stud on the car's body. When the strut fails or gets old, the plastic or metal retaining clip inside this socket can wear out, causing the strut to pop off, usually hitting you in the head in the process. This little metal piece is the socket part that connects the strut to the car. In the basement of an old house, you see a plastic circle embedded in the concrete floor. It feels like the lid of a Pringles can, but thicker. It is flush with the floor and won't pry up. It is located in an area where the concrete looks newer than the rest of the basement. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a knockout plug or a test plug for plumbing. When new drainage pipes are installed under a concrete floor, like for a future bathroom rough-in, plumbers seal the pipe openings with these plastic caps to keep debris out and to pressure test the system. They are often left in place until the homeowner decides to install a toilet or shower. The term knockout comes from the fact that you literally knock the center out with a hammer to open the pipe when you are ready to use it. You are woodworking or cutting into a piece of grade A white oak lumber when you hit something hard. Embedded deep inside the wood is a conical piece of copper and lead. It isn't a nail or a screw. It looks like it grew inside the tree. How did metal get inside a solid board? Does anyone know what this could be? You have found a bullet that was shot into the living tree years or even decades ago. It is not uncommon for hunters or target shooters to fire into trees. The tree survives the impact and continues to grow, enveloping the bullet in new layers of wood, cambium. Years later, when the tree is harvested and milled into lumber, the bullet is discovered by a saw blade or a woodworker. It's a fascinating, if annoying, surprise that tells a violent story from the tree's past life in the forest. You find a two-piece acrylic tube in your kitchen. It stands about 15 centimeters tall. It looks like a very skinny vase, but it has a hole in the bottom or isn't watertight. It seems designed to hold something long and slender upright, but a flower would die in it. It's a useless piece of plastic cluttering the drawer. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a stand for a handheld electric milk frother. Devices like the Aerolat or generic coffee whisks often come with these stands. Because the frother has a long, delicate metal whisk that can easily get bent in a utensil drawer, the stand is provided to store it upright on the counter. The frother handle sits in the top, and the whisk dangles safely inside the tube. If you don't own a milk frother, a previous roommate or owner likely left the stand behind. You open the glove box of a used car you just bought and find a handful of metal fasteners. They are about 2 or 3 inches long and look like heavy-duty bolts with a metal sleeve around them. They don't look like automotive parts, which usually involve fine threads and plastic clips. Why would someone keep these in their car? Does anyone know what this could be? These are concrete sleeve anchors, often used in construction and masonry. They are designed to attach heavy objects to solid concrete, brick, or block. You drill a hole in the concrete, insert the anchor, and tighten the nut. As you tighten it, the bolt pulls up, expanding the metal sleeve outward against the walls of the hole, creating an incredibly strong grip. Finding them in a glove box suggests the previous owner might have been a contractor or tradesperson who tossed a few spare fasteners into the car after a job and forgot about them. You find a strange tool in your driveway after having your gutters cleaned. It is a plastic and metal rod, about 1.5 feet long, with 2 arms or paddles at the end. It looks like a weird weed whacker or a mixer. It doesn't have a handle, just a connector rod. It was clearly left behind by the workers. Does anyone know what this could be? This is an attachment for a gutter cleaning tool, likely the gutter sense or a similar rotary cleaning system. It attaches to the end of a long extension pole or a flexible snake that connects to a cordless drill. When spun, the paddles rotate inside the gutter, flinging wet leaves and debris out over the edge. It allows homeowners or workers to clean gutters from the safety of the ground without climbing a ladder. The workers simply forgot to pack up this specific attachment when they finished the job. You are going through a box of old Christmas decorations and find these strange plastic ornaments. They are about 3 inches tall, hollow, and have an orange piece on the bottom that pops off. They look like little lanterns or figures, but they don't have hooks to hang on a branch. They seem incomplete. Does anyone know what this could be? These are vintage Christmas light covers, popular in the 1960s and 70s. They were designed to fit over the standard miniature light bulbs on a string of Christmas lights. You would remove the orange base, push the light bulb into the hollow body of the ornament, and then snap it onto the light socket or use a rubber grommet. The light from the bulb would illuminate the plastic figure from the inside, making the entire tree glow with glowing Santas, snowmen, or lanterns. They are nostalgic collectibles today. You find a heavy, solid, brass cylinder about 3 inches long. One end is flat, and the other end tapers to a sharp cone point. It looks like a plumb bob or a very large bullet. It has marks on it that look like it was hammered or clamped. It feels like a precision tool. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a dead center used in machining on a lathe. It is inserted into the tailstock of the lathe to support the end of a long workpiece while it spins. The conical point fits into a hole drilled in the end of the metal or wood being turned. This specific one is made of brass, a softer metal, likely to prevent marring or damaging a delicate workpiece. The hammer marks suggest it was tapped into place by a machinist who needed a custom, non-marring solution for a specific job. You find a large, heavy tool, about 12 by 6 inches. It has a sticker that says Gould Pumps. At the bottom, it has metal teeth arranged in a circle, looking somewhat like a drill chuck, but much larger. It has a mechanism to squeeze these teeth together. It looks like it belongs in a heavy-duty workshop. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a manual hose crimper. It is used to permanently attach metal fittings onto the ends of hydraulic hoses or heavy-duty industrial tubing. You insert the hose and the metal ferrule into the center of the teeth, dies, and then tighten the machine. The teeth close in uniformly, crushing the metal collar onto the hose to create a high-pressure, leak-proof seal. Gould Pumps is a major manufacturer of industrial pumps, so this tool would have been essential for maintaining their equipment in the field. You are outside Heathrow Airport, or a similar large transport hub, and see a massive, brutalist, hexagonal concrete tower. It has no windows at the top and looks like a fortress. It stands next to a car park, but seems completely separate and uninhabited. It looks like a relic from the Cold War. Does anyone know what this could be? This structure is the concrete base for an old primary surveillance radar, likely a 23-centimeter band radar. The hexagonal tower originally supported a massive rotating antenna array on top, which swept the skies to track aircraft. When the technology became obsolete and the radar was decommissioned, the expensive electronic equipment was removed, but the bomb-proof concrete tower was too difficult and expensive to demolish. So, it remains as a brutalist monument to aviation history, often protected by local heritage listings that prevent its destruction. You see pairs of massive concrete blocks, about 9 by 18 inches, sitting on the ground. They aren't just loose bricks, they are solid cast concrete. And strangely, they are connected to each other by a short, heavy chain embedded directly into the concrete. They look like nunchucks for a giant. What possible use could chained concrete blocks have? These are drag weights, or chain mats, often used in airfield or road maintenance. They can be dragged behind a tractor or truck to break up soil, level gravel, or clear debris. However, in a construction context, they are often used as temporary anchors or weights for securing fencing, tents, or tarps where you can't drive stakes into the ground. The chain allows them to be easily lifted by a machine or draped over an object to hold it down with flexible, distributed weight. You have a door in your house, maybe on a water heater closet or an attic, that is stuck shut. You see a metal mechanism on the edge, a roller on a spring that pushes into a plate. It doesn't turn like a knob. It just holds the door by friction. It looks broken or jammed. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a friction roller latch, or roller catch. It is a simple mechanism used on doors that don't need a locking handle, like closets or cabinets. A spring-loaded roller on the door engages with a strike plate on the jamb to hold the door closed. If the door is stuck, it's usually because the house has settled, the wood has swelled with humidity, or the roller mechanism has rusted and seized. A firm pull is usually enough to overcome the friction, but you might need to lubricate or adjust the roller tension screw to fix it permanently. You are looking at an electric scooter, like a Xiaomi or Segway, and notice a hook-like clip on the handlebars that seems to do nothing. It also has a corresponding nub or latch on the rear fender. It looks like it could hold a bag, but the angle is wrong. It snaps and moves. Does anyone know what this could be? This is the folding latch mechanism. When you want to carry the scooter, you release the stem, fold the handlebars down towards the back wheel, and this clip snaps onto the nub on the rear fender. This locks the scooter into a folded position, turning the handlebar stem into a carrying handle so you can lift the scooter like a suitcase. It's a crucial feature for commuters hopping on trains or buses. You are driving past a cornfield in Kansas and see a strange metal post standing at the edge of the crop circle. It is about 4 or 5 feet tall and has a horizontal bar or lever arm sticking out. It looks lonely and mechanical, standing there in the dirt. It isn't part of the fence, and it doesn't look like a scarecrow. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a direction switch or auto-reverse mechanism for a center pivot irrigation system. Those massive wheeled sprinkler lines that rotate around fields eventually reach the edge of the property or an obstacle like a road. When the sprinkler system's wheels roll up to this post, a striker bar on the sprinkler hits the lever on the post. This physical contact triggers a switch that tells the system to either stop watering or reverse its direction and head back the other way. It acts like a bumper car sensor for giant farming equipment. You are touring a high-end mansion or a luxury spa and see a wooden bucket mounted high on the wall of the shower. It looks rustic, almost out of place in a modern bathroom. It has a pull chain or rope attached to it. It looks like it would just dump water on your head rather than spraying it. Why would a multi-million-dollar home have a bucket on the wall? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a bucket shower, also known as a plunge bucket or a Scottish bucket. It is a traditional hydrotherapy feature often found near saunas. The bucket is connected to a water line and fills automatically with ice-cold water. After a session in a hot sauna or steam room, you pull the chain and the bucket tips over, dumping a massive volume of freezing water on you all at once. This sudden thermal shock is believed to stimulate circulation, close pores, and provide an invigorating adrenaline rush that a standard shower head simply cannot replicate. You buy an espresso machine, and it comes with a plastic tamper spoon, but the handle has a strange hexagonal hole in it. It looks like a wrench. but there are no hexagonal bolts on your machine that fit it. It seems like a useless design feature that weakens the handle. Why put a hole there? Does anyone know what this could be? This is a case of manufacturing efficiency. That hexagonal hole is indeed a wrench, designed to unscrew the steam nozzle tip for cleaning. While your specific coffee machine might not require it, the manufacturer uses the same plastic mold to make spoons for dozens of different models, like Britannia or Philco. Some of those other models do have a steam nozzle that requires this specific wrench shape. Instead of making a different spoon for every machine, they include this multi-tool spoon with all of them, making the whole a vestigial feature for you. You are cleaning out a closet and find a bag of black plastic objects. They are about 3 inches long and look like hooks with a C shape on one side and smaller hooks on the other. They feel cheap and lightweight. They don't look like curtain hooks or shower rings. You are about to throw them away. Does anyone know what this could be? These are accessory hooks for a clothes drying rack, specifically the models sold at Costco, often under the Greenway or similar brands. The large C-shaped part snaps onto the tubular metal frame of the rack. The smaller hooks that stick out are designed to hold small items like socks, underwear, or camisoles that might slip off the main bars. They allow you to maximize the drying space. Without the rack, they are useless. But for someone with that specific drying rack, they are essential for doing laundry. You find a weird fluorescent yellow lump embedded in the panel of a cheap piece of furniture, like a bed frame from a big box store. It looks like plastic or hardened gum. It doesn't seem to have a function. It's just an ugly spot on the surface. You try to pick it off, but it's stuck fast. Does anyone know what this could be? This is simply a manufacturing defect, a rogue chunk of industrial glue or filler. In mass-produced furniture made of particle board or MDF, the binding resins and glues sometimes clump together during the manufacturing process. If quality control misses it, this hard, discolored lump gets pressed into the board and laminated over, or just left there. It serves no purpose and is just a piece of slag from the factory floor that ended up in your bedroom furniture. You find a thin piece of metal on your garage floor. It is about 2.5 inches long with hooks on both ends. It looks like a twisted wire tie or a weird paperclip. A few days later, you find another one. They seem to be multiplying. They are made of silver metal and look like parts of a mechanism. Does anyone know what this could be? These are the internal tension springs or tie wires from a broken umbrella. Specifically, they are the small connectors found inside the mechanism of cheap folding umbrellas. When an umbrella gets turned inside out by the wind or simply wears out, these small wire links pop off the ribs. They are what hold the structure together under tension. Finding them on your garage floor usually means someone tossed a broken umbrella in the trash bin there, and its guts are slowly falling out. You find a clear plastic object in a park. It has a soft silicone tip and a reservoir containing a gross, opaque white fluid. It looks medical, or maybe like part of a vape pen. It's lying in the grass and looks unhygienic. You definitely don't want to touch it. Does anyone know what this could be? That unappealing object is the detachable head of an electric nasal aspirator, colloquially known as a booger sucker. These devices are used by parents to clear the stuffy noses of infants and toddlers who cannot blow their own noses. The white fluid inside is exactly what you think it is: mucus and saline solution. A distracted parent likely dropped it while attending to a sick child during a walk, leaving behind a piece of medical waste that is definitely best left alone. You keep finding tiny, sharp shards on the floor. They look like glass, but they have weird brown and black stripes running through them. They are incredibly thin and brittle. You sweep them up, but you find more later. They don't look like a broken cup or window. Does anyone know what this could be? These are fragments from a broken LCD, liquid crystal display screen. Inside your TV, monitor, or laptop screen, there are thin layers of glass, sandwiched with liquid crystals and polarizing films. When an LCD screen is smashed, it shatters into these distinctive shards. The black and brown stripes are actually the electronic traces and the liquid crystal material itself. If you are finding them, it means a screen was broken nearby recently, and the incredibly fine glass dust and shards are migrating out of the carpet. You find a small, rigid plastic rectangle. One side is black and textured, and the other side is white. It isn't magnetic and doesn't have sticky tape on it, but it looks like it should be a sticker. It's under 3 inches long. It feels like a component of something else. Does anyone know what this could be? This is a non-slip friction plate, often included with guitar effects pedals or small desktop electronics. The black side is a high-friction rubber or foam designed to grip the floor or a table surface. The white side usually has an adhesive backing, protected by a peel-off film, which might be missing or hard to see. Musicians stick these to the bottom of their guitar pedals to keep them from sliding around the stage when they stomp on them. What was the weirdest object for you? Let me know in the comments and share this to test your friends. If you love uncovering these mysteries, hit like and subscribe. Your support helps us find more curious explorers like you. Stay curious.